morning, everybody, and welcome to Spirituality Gone Wild. It is time for a cup of grata with a shot of expression and two squirts of reality. Before we get started, I am going to, while everybody is joining us, I am going to ask a simple question. Who are you grateful for? Put it into the chat. And without further ado, I am going to play some True Osborne. Let's get into the mood for some supernatural love. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way, a day late. See you all in a few with the incredible neo positivity. We're going to be like up in the vibe today. So share this out and let's rock and roll.
You made the heavens, planted the earth, gave us stars for direction. But what was it worth if we don't have love? Oh, your perfect love. You filled the oceans, painted the sky, gave us each other. So tell me why, why we're lacking love. Oh, why we're lacking love. Love. Oh, can't you see the darkness trying to divide? Yeah, you know it's up to us to keep shining bright and let our hearts stay lifted high. Oh, can't you see the darkness trying to divide? My Lord, you know it's up to us to keep shining bright and let our hearts stay lifted high. Oh, you can prophesy, speak in the tongues you made. But if you don't have compassion, how will they understand that we were made from love? Oh, we were made from love. Oh, yeah. Oh, can't you see the darkness trying to divide? My Lord, you know it's up to us to keep shining bright and let our hearts stay lifted high. Oh, can't you see the darkness trying to divide? Oh, you know it's up to us to keep shining bright and let our hearts stay lifted high. Time to spread more love. Oh, perfect love. Supernatural love. Your love.
Woo! Supernatural love. That was True Osborne. Please go check out True. What an amazing artist. So I know you all know who this is. This is Neo Positivity. You guys see him on LOA with me on Fridays. But you know what we've never done is just spent some time with Neo by himself just to see who Neo is. Just a quick little excerpt. Neo knows firsthand how to alter your life's current trajectory and average your daily mindset. He learned about the law of attraction in the March of 2008. Neo quickly became obsessed with creating and mastering new custom LOA techniques. He retired from the police department just 8 months later in November. Over the past 13 years, he's interviewed hundreds of law of attraction specialists and cataloged their great landscapes, techniques. I don't know where I got landscapes from, but apparently I want to throw in my own words. So this obsession led to the creation of a summit called Neo Positivity. Welcome, one of my favorite people in this world, Neo. What's up?
Hello, Debbie, and thank you everyone for waking up this morning and having a cup of grata. We need that cup, man. We
I
need it.
need my Cuppa Grata and my cup yum.
This is my cup of. I
He's
love
having
water.
it. I love water too. You know, water is an amazing thing. I swear to you, I watched Foxa yesterday, my fluffy American Eskimo, and I don't know how. I don't know how I still feel like I have fur balls in my eyeballs. So I'm sitting here trying not to, I just gave her a pet and it is just hilarious. I think it's an imagination just that I'd share that all because y'all needed to know that, right?
It was on my list of things to do today.
I'm telling you. God knew. All right. So let's just give a short backstory because it's actually quite interesting. You were you were a cop. You were
Yes.
out there, chasing down people that were doing things they probably shouldn't be doing.
Yeah. It was fun.
Was it fun?
It was amazing. Yeah. It was at the time. It was the funnest thing I could possibly be doing with my time. I mean, I've always been in love with karate and football, and it was the perfect combination of the two. Minus all the paperwork we had to write. Yeah, although I would never do it again.
Hmm.
Some of the stuff, it just sounds crazy. Like if you completely lay out what happens on every call, it just sounds crazy.
I'm curious. Even when you were doing that, you knew there was something more, didn't you?
Yes, 100%. It was a conversation with God in my squad car that led me to believe that it was possible to do
Talk to me about
something like
that. I want to know about that experience. Let's do a walkthrough on that.
well, if you've ever, well, I'll say for me, my whole life when I talked to God, I feel like I was talking out loud, just to the walls. Bless Aunt Joan and Uncle Timmy, and I hope I'll get better at this, and I want to be a millionaire someday. It was just, I thought I was talking to God, but now I see it as what I was doing was just talking out loud. I was talking to the walls. I had discovered this thing I like to call the watcher, this watching presence that we can all feel kind of watching us. And I decided to study it. And when I studied it, I was just basically the first thing I noticed was that I knew it knew I was studying it. It knew I was studying it. And it not only knew that, but it knew everything I was thinking. And I was like, all right, watching me at all times, knows what I'm thinking. It kind of sounds like God. And if I'm right, this is the closest I'll ever come to like interacting and feeling. So I wanted to really spend time with it and bring it into different mental exercises. Like if I picture my toes on the beach, if I picture myself on the beach and I put my toes in the sand at the park and close my eyes, that's two mental exercises right there. Compounding them by bringing the watcher in would put me on a beach. And so I said, I want to use this for retirement. And that's what I did. I started using all my mental exercises for retirement, but I would do them with that watcher exercise on top. Now I had been doing everything for 7 months. Everything, meditation, all my different visualization techniques and affirmations. For 7 months I was doing everything and I wasn't really getting much progress that I could see.
Hmm.
But when I started implementing the watcher exercise, it was that month. I think it was somewhere around 25 days later it was my last day on the streets. So yeah, compounding exercises and that whole watcher thing really and I still use that today, but that really amplified and made me able to do what I am. That was 14 years ago. It's funny, people hear me say I'm retired and they're like, oh, he's new to this. Nah, it was 14 years ago. I'm not new to
Okay,
this.
I'm well, you know why, right?
No, I mean, well, I guess if someone said
Because
that
you
to
look
me,
like a baby. That's why.
well, thank
Because
you.
you are a baby. That's why.
Thank you.
Hey,
I'll
I'm
be
54. Listen to this.
It's 11/11. I'll be 41 on March the 9th. So less than a month.
Happy birthday almost.
Thank you. Pisces, emotional characters in the house. Let's go.
I love this. My best friend Josie. Her name
Yeah.
that's drama to Josie. Yeah,
She,
she's
she
she's
spoke at my last summit.
Exactly. Well, Josie's coming back and she's coming back strong, and she's a Pisces, and so is David Strickle, the Stream of David. Their birthdays, he's the 25th, she's the 26th, and here you are coming up right after them. So you guys are all Pisces. I love Pisces in my life. That's
Yes,
wonderful.
I don't know many Pisces. They say we're all emotional and stuff. I may be emotional, but you won't see it. And
Mm.
I've always had control over my emotion enough control over my emotion to when it would get out of hand,
Hmm.
I could always reel it back in. And this was before I even knew about the law of attraction or that thoughts were even a thing. Um, I always say I never gave my thoughts a second thought before I saw the movie The Secret. And I was still doing these exercises proactively, just making sure I wasn't in certain headspaces, making sure my mind wouldn't run down certain alleyways it didn't need to be down. So it was a lot easier for me to implement the law of attraction once I really knew what it was. I'm telling you, I was put here for this. I was put on this earth to be on the voice, to be the voice of the law of the thoughts become things movement.
I believe this. It,
Seriously.
I totally, I believe it because you are, that is what you do. So I want to, if there's some people out there who might be watching this right now, they might be watching on the replay and thinking to themselves, okay, yeah, but when my thoughts start going. In fact, I know a couple people out there in this world, their thoughts start going and they're just off in space somewhere. They're not even, I'm just like, yo, psh, come back to Earth. I mean,
Yeah.
because we just do that as human beings. But talk about that practice of pulling yourself back to you, pulling yourself back in, and letting your mind know you're boss.
You know what? I always, everyone watching, I always, when Debbie and Walt are speaking, I need a piece of paper present because they're going to say something or bring something out of me that I'm going to want to write down and do a video about after
You kill
we're
me.
done.
You crack
Um,
me up.
Great people, great voices, man, great information, you guys. Um, it's more for me when the voice kicks in, whether it be prompted by an email or a lead quote on Facebook. When a voice comes in, to deal with it right away is amazing. First, you have to condition your mind. The brain is a muscle, has muscle memory. You have to condition your mind to catch it sooner than later. And then once it catches it, you could slip right back into it, like standing on the edge of a bathtub that's has dish detergent all over it. It's that easy to slip back into.
Oh my God, it's so easy, it's redonkulous. Like for real. I don't care how long you've been doing practices. If you're not keeping up on it, I've this happened to me.
It
I
happens to
I
me.
don't care. Like I just and I fell right on my ass. So,
So you can condition your mind to wake up to it sooner than later through practice. But once you wake up, it's so easy to slip back in. Now you have to practice conditioning your mind to either run a better scenario, run a different scenario, just chalk it up and get rid of that scenario, come back to center, go outside, see some nature. You could do all that. But those are reactive responses. I wanted a proactive response to keep my mind from doing those things and saying those things. And so that's when I got into like reprogramming and reshaping your average thoughts so that your brain would do all the most of these things for you and stop those negative dialogues. You get that email,
mhm.
as soon as it comes in, your brain has stomped its negativity out, come up with a solution that's believable enough to where I don't even have to worry anymore. And then I'm good from there. I never even got upset about the email because it caught it for me. That's where you
Mhm.
want to get your mind. Because once you get your mind there, it'll do it for you. 60 to 70 thoughts on average per day per person. That's a lot of daggone thoughts. Trying to keep at least half of them positive, 30,001. That's there, or 30 or 35,001.
Ha- Do
You
you
can,
think we have that many? Do you think we have 60,000 thoughts a
I
day?
think I did. Since I've gotten spiritual, so I'd say no for you too. Since we've gone on this path that we've been on,
Mhm.
I don't think we have that many thoughts per
Yeah,
day.
I've never thought about this in a while. I really don't think I don't. I don't spend a lot of time in my past except for maybe to observe it and see the similarity if I've got a trigger and I have some dust I haven't cleared out, or and I'm not spending a whole lot of time future tripping. I'll give you an example. Last night, I love how you're talking about this. You just made me think. Last night, I'm talking to Joe, and we're talking about when we're buying a house, right? And a few other things that are coming up, and I'm like, well, we should probably look at. I'm guessing May or June, right? And then I literally stopped you, and I went, actually, that's like really far in the future. So we'll just say that that's probably a goal of ours, but I really can't decide like what that looks like right now. I can't even really comprehend it because to me, an hour from now could feel like an entire month because there's so much present right there. When you're present, have you noticed that, Neil? Have you noticed that in an hour's time, it could feel like a whole like an entire month, like you just like, wow, all this happened in this one little span of time and it's just juicy.
And you know what? The sad part about that is the old saying, time flies when you're having fun. When you're in that headspace, when you're good at and you enjoy being in a meditative state or staring off and being present, you end up having so much fun that it's just kind of at the end of the experience, you felt like time flew. You want to go back and do it again, but you can always get present. You can always get present. Last night, I was in my trailer for the first time in a long time because it's been cold, and I set everything up. I got my heat on, da 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 da, and I do my thing every night from midnight till 2 in the morning. I hit record on my recorder and I just start speaking after I get meditative, and it was such a good time. And it was such a great experience. It's been so long since I did it. And you gotta remember, I used to do this every night. I usually do it every night when the weather's right. Um, I didn't want it to end. It was
Mhm.
so present. And when I say I wasn't present, when I was stepping out of present, because being present only lasts a couple seconds before something, your ego kicks in with something. Um, I did a great job at just getting back on focus. Every time my ego derailed me, I brought it back. I like using the word derailed. Every time it derailed me, I brought it back and brought it back. And I watered some great seeds. I stayed in a great headspace to the point where when it was done, I was like, I don't want to leave. I want to stay in this headspace. I want to stay here and do this. But I had to go to sleep early because someone likes to record their show at the butt crack of dawn.
That would be me. And y'all just type any questions you have for Neo into the chat. I want to mention that I've posted into the chat, join the Neo Positivity Summit, and I put the link there. So please do that. And okay, Mia, I love this. So that's rad. So last night you're chilling in your trailer, have and you were just like the kiss of bliss,
Like that.
just loving and being in that presence, the presence of the divine, the presence of at one minute. You know, I love that. I absolutely love that. And then the derailing, you go derailing. That's cute. Oh my God, you're going off the tracks, psh, but you can,
Yes.
but you're
It's just like the word judge. Like you said, the judge doesn't like that. It has such a negative connotation. It makes you give that essence
hmm
zero, you know, credibility. And
yeah.
it's like I don't want to spend there at all. And derailed is like the same thing. It's like I know 100% this direction I'm at has zero credibility. I need to get back on track. I didn't realize I was off track. Let me get back on. And that's what we have to do. We have to set these triggers in place because to wake up and do them at every single time we think something negative, like you could look at a chair and be like, I'm not going to sit there. I saw a chair break like that at a barbecue once. You just judge things as you look at everything. Like, why does that mouse look like that? It needs an extra button on this mouse.
Yeah.
You just look, and to wake yourself out of each and every single one of these judgments. Oh, it's cold. Damn, I stubbed my toe yesterday. It still hurts. Dang. Um, you know, to wake yourself up from all of them would suck. But to condition your mind to do it for you sounds like a great workaround for me, and that's what I've been using.
Well, Neo, what you're talking about is actually it's scientifically proven. We have neuroplasticity in our brain. Plasticity.
Yes,
It's it,
plus.
plasticity. Tutu. I don't even know if I said that right, but hey, y'all get it, right? So, but it's malleable. Okay, you can change this. It's not permanent. It's always changing. And so imagine you're doing these practices and boom, all of a sudden you're like, wow, it's becoming it's normal for me to get up. I'll give you an example. It's really normal for me to get really miffed about something, pissed off. And I can too. I mean, I'm just so human. I love that. But I'll find like this I'll think about it. How can I appreciate this? Where is there an appreciation in this? How can I find gratitude? But that's my natural go-to now. It didn't used to be. My natural go-to was to fault find, complain, whine. And you should have heard me this weekend. I was all up in my shit because, oh, dude, I was having a fit. We won't talk about Debbie's fit right now, but I'm going to tell you, having to sit in by myself and let myself have a good old fit, which I did. I absolutely did. But that was my go-to because my brain in these practices, it's malleable. It starts changing. Brain entrainment is real. It's a thing, and we have the power to do this. So, Neil,
Mhm.
whew, whew, whew. And I love this. Rita Lynn, hi, sweetheart. I haven't seen you in a minute. And Sam, good morning. Joe, my husband, hello. Good morning,
Yes. Hello,
everybody.
everyone. Good morning. Good morning.
Type the questions into the chat. We are speaking to Neo Positivity. And if you guys watch me on Fridays with Walt, Neo is our cohort, and he is rocking as always. Neo, you do rock, actually. I mean, you bring some things that I love in this universe. And one of them is spontaneity. You're daring as hell. You don't look at risk as being a risk. You just look at it, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that. And you do that thing. It's almost fearless. And that's the reason I think it's so neat. You do things that I go, I love that exhilarate your soul, like flying. What's the not in the plane, the other flying you do. I mean, you
That
do things that exhilarate you. Talk to me about that. His brain entrainment, I swear this is it. We're all gonna need to do
that
it.
flight, man. Flight is I could fly in my previous lifetime, you know. I don't know, in a bunch of them, most of them I should say. I don't know. It's just beautiful. And yes, if you picture a big parachute with a huge fan on my back, it kind of looks like this circle.
Oh, it does, yeah.
Yeah, just picture a big one of those behind me and a parachute and just flying over beaches and over people
My
and
God.
just having fun. And flying airplanes was cool, but you know, every now and then, especially with the law of attraction, you have that thought like, what if my engine died? And you're like, well, I'm not gonna think about that. You know, not with thoughts become things written on my shirt.
Oh my God.
Not gonna do that. But you know, you
You've
gotta
gotta be
pretend.
kidding me. I'm not
You
gonna die with this shit on my because then they're gonna be looking,
know.
then they're gonna be judging that.
Oh yeah, a
You're killing me.
crash an airplane, and they see you laying there with thoughts become things written on your shirt. Oh my god.
We knew what he was thinking.
Yeah. So when it pops up, you just got to end it immediately. Nope, nope, not gonna think about that. But you still have to, because it's a ton of weight, metal. Some of it, you know, fuel. The wings might be full of fuel. When you land this thing, you know, you got to find the right spot to land it. So when your engine dies, you got to think quick and you got to be on your toes. The thing about the paramotor is, if the engine dies, I could do a couple loops and eat a cheeseburger like one dude actually did before I can find a spot to land and land nice and comfortably and call someone and say, hey, can you come pick me up at the park on 3rd and Main? You know, and it's just so much safer. So I get flight and the safety of it. And here's the thing. When I was when I was going to school for my pilot's license, I was there for like 5 months. Um, the month before the last, I saw this video, this guy that was kicking the leaves on the top of trees.
No
And then he'd go
joke.
down into hayfield and he'd be dragging his feet on the ground and he'd go in and out of hay bales and over the cows and come back and he would just hop over a tree. I said, whoa, 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 what is that? And I'm
And
like, I love flying airplanes, but I want to do that. So yes, I graduated and got my pilot's license in July think it was July 15th, 2019. And August 16th, a month later, I moved to Florida and started flying paramotor immediately. Because they got a group down here. We still fly as often as we can. And it's just fun. And when you look at my videos of me flying, it's exactly what I'm doing. I'm grinding my feet on the ground. I'm jumping over trees. And I'm going in and out of hay bales and all kind of stuff. It's just so fun. It's so fun.
Well, okay, but this is how to live life. This is it right
Yes.
here. So, so often, I don't know about other people out there. Anybody out there ever just go to work 9 to 5, do your thing, boring existence, not expanding your soul, not, I mean, what can we all do today? And I'm curious, audience, what can you do to reach down inside of you and say, what exhilarates my soul? And are you willing to do it? Are you willing to say yes to yourself? Because you said yes to you. You also said yes to God source energy within you that soars through you. So, okay, you take this exhilaration and how are you using it in other areas of your life?
As far as like flying,
Well, you take the flying, you take the energy of the flying, the energy of expanding your soul, and you bring that in and you put that in to all of the areas that you're working on, your summits, your everything.
it's
That
it's
exhilarating energy, it comes with you. You didn't leave it when you're flying.
yeah. I think it's I hate to compare it. I hate to say it's a drug or whatever, but if I'm flying and it brings me that much joy, I need to find a way to feel this type of joy on the ground. That way, I don't have to wait for the weather to be nice and my friends to be there because I don't fly alone. I don't have to wait for all them factors. I need to be able to do that in my living room, anywhere I go. And so that comes with what you said. What exhilarates my soul? I've asked that type of question to over 1,000 adults in my life, and I might have gotten four answers. Might have. I'm pretty sure the two of the answers I got were from children. So I might have gotten two answers from adults about what. And I asked them like this: what do you love to do? You would do it so much that you would do it for 40 hours a week for free. You're a billionaire. You done bought your family everything. Now you're bored. What am I? You done been on every vacation, bought everything, private jets, homes. Now you're bored. What do I do with my life? You know. And once you find that, then you pursue it. Thing is, I can't get anyone to answer that question outside of sleeping, having sex, or eating. I can't really get people, and those aren't real answers. I mean, you
Those are
could
not real
you
answers.
could have sex for a living. I mean, it is
Well, yeah,
possible.
they actually, there's even a pay scale apparently. Just saying.
Yeah,
Sorry. That,
I don't,
that was terrible.
I don't even. I don't think you could sleep for a living. Um, you could make some money doing sleep studies, and these aren't these aren't real
He's
answers. Uh,
no.
but once you find that thing and you pursue it, the waves will be at your
Mhm.
back. That's why I pursued the law of attraction so heavy. It wasn't like it was just working for me, so I should pursue it. It was working for me and thrusting me in its direction. Like if I was
Yeah.
meant to be the guy who cures cancer, I would learn to use the law of attraction and it would thrust me in a medical direction. You know,
Yep.
this kept me every time I tried to go somewhere else, it brought me back to exactly where I need to be, which is this law of attraction area. And I was like, and I'm not one to resist that type of waves at your back activity. So I went with it and I went down the different avenues: TV show, radio show, podcast, summits, live streams. And it's just when I'm live, when I'm just talking like me and you are now, it's unscripted. Me and Debbie did not meet up before this and write down what topics we're going to be. It's not how we roll. And that is what I love doing. And that's when I do that, the waves are just at my back, And this is crazy. I
That's
learned,
it.
I didn't think about this till last night. My real name is Nehemiah. Neo positivity is kind of my philosophy. It's basically if you take all the religions and remove anything that can't be proven in a court of law, you end up with a system. They all agree on the same foundations. and you end up with this system that just so happens to be called the law of attraction. So, and once you throw some neo stank on it, it becomes neo positivity. Nehemiah, I think, what is it? Neo means new, and Maya means beginning. I didn't know
Ooh,
that. I didn't,
that's
and
rad.
I was just like, holy crap, yeah. So maybe I am, not maybe I am, because I was convinced before, but after hearing that, it's just like, all right, this is what I was meant to do. Let's go.
Mm. Well, I want to recognize the essence of what you just brought everybody. So, if you're just joining us, what Neo was just talking about here is how that he tapped into the thing that exhilarates his soul, and how he's asked many questions out there, and a lot of people really can't answer this, and I love this. And what you've really described is when you're here, when you're doing this right now, this is what is exhilarating your soul. We love the flying and we love all of that, but this is truly what expands you. And I love that because I'm in the same boat. This is what I love, period. And it's because it has to do with other human beings. It has to do with other people out there. It has to do with showing up and being the light and saying, hey, you know what? You don't have to keep doing this the way you've been doing this. I know your life sucks. You know your life sucks. What's up? Your attitude sucks too. So, hey, yo, you know what? Neo positivity over here actually does have a solution and a possibility of things being different for you if you want to take that step. But Neo, I understand that this is true. So many people have not tapped into what it is that makes their soul sing. I could give you a list right now of about 10 things that I love so much. It makes my soul sing. The
Because
simplicity.
we're looking for it.
Oh, I want
That's
it.
the
Yeah,
difference.
yeah, yeah, totally.
Like you
Talk to
said,
me.
that
Yeah, go.
that flying thing, I knew I loved flying. I've always loved flying. I was obsessed with RC airplanes, and I didn't think
Yeah.
getting my pilot's license was even a possibility. And the day I thought it was, I was signing up the next day. Um, so flying is just deep rooted in my soul. I love it so much. But every time I got in the air and started feeling good, I wanted to do what? Live stream while flying.
That's
Now think
it.
about it. If you got to choose between live streaming, which I love doing, or flying, which would be so perfect if I got the live stream while I was up there, you end up with live streaming uh, being your thing. But like you said, that comes from us searching, and everyone listening, and Debbie, you try this too. Find someone, anyone that you don't know, that anyone that doesn't know their calling yet, or is questioning it. Start to go down the rabbit hole. Ask them, what is it you love to do? You would do it for free. Okay. All right. Well, how would that make you feel? So maybe it's not that. Maybe it's something. Go down, try to go down that rabbit hole. You will not get 20 seconds. That person will change the subject, sometimes aggressively, like they don't even want to spend time there. You get the same response. I always ask people, give me an unlimited vacation, a cruise where you just got unlimited money. Where would you go? What will you do? I won't, that conversation, I can't get anyone to go more than 15, 20 seconds. They won't entertain it. It's like they refuse to spend time there because it's a pipe dream, something they'll never have. So they're just teasing themselves. And it's just odd that you get the same response for those two things. It's like they're avoiding happiness mentally, avoiding spending time in a good headspace.
Mm,
What is that?
mm. Well, what that is the programming. It's what you were talking about earlier in the programming. And you're saying it's practices. I've been doing these practices and changing the programming of my mind because I can. And I absolutely love this. So I'm going to ask the audience, all of you, what is your soul's calling? What is the one thing? And I just got to tell you, Neo, my mother asked me this question 20, 30, 40 years ago. I don't know, a long time ago. What would you do in life for free and not get paid for it? Because if you can figure that out, you have just figured out what your passion will be. And I sat there going, she goes, you can't answer this usually right away. And that's one of the things a lot of people can't. But I have an easy way to figure it out. What is it?
Oh, yeah.
Remember when you were like 4 or 5 and the things you love to do? Your imagination? And there was no limit to your imagination. People don't want to let themselves go into their deep imagination because they were told it was wrong at some point in their life.
Mhm.
So when we can dive into our imagination and we can remember, like I loved photography. That's like one of my passions in life. Okay. I could literally shoot people, places, things. Um, I just love nature and I love humans. I love the human being. But that was a passion that I had from a very small age. But you know what I also discovered? When I was little, I loved to dance. I love to dance. I love now but that's how I got back into my imagination and my flow. But really, how did you discover it? Because I know it took me doing things like twirling around like a 2-year-old to tap back into that essence of who I really was. What did you do to do it? Because there are people out there who just can't not do this. They can't entertain the idea of limitless possibility and infinite glory.
You know what's crazy? I'm starting to realize that a lot of through telling these stories and being asked great questions like that, a lot of the stuff, a lot in the progression of the law of attraction, a lot of things that happened to me, I guess I could say, happened backwards. Not back, I guess backwards. Yeah. I was. It was that conversation in the squad car with God, and I never realized that I didn't even give it a second thought. I was sitting in the car and I said, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to come here with on a schedule with a monkey suit. Please let me just sit at home, study the human brain, and help people. And that voice said, okay, but whatever I tell you, you have to share it with the universe. And I'm like, well, I was going to do that anyway. Anytime you get good information, you want to shout it from the mountaintops. And that was our agreement. Right after that, retirement was, and this is what I did. We've been on the same agreement ever since. But I never realized in that story what I had asked for. I didn't think about it. I didn't
Mm.
want to go to school to be a psychologist. I definitely didn't want to be a counselor because that deals with monkey suits and schedules again. I didn't want to do one-on-one sessions because, and that's when every time I get into doing one-on-one sessions, I end up stopping because I don't like saying the same thing over and over and over again. I want to be able to help people on a larger scale. That's exactly what I asked for. I never realized that I intuitively just asked for my calling, and I didn't know what my calling was. I just knew I didn't want to be in this monkey suit on this schedule. I wanted to study the human brain and help people on a massive scale. That's exactly what I asked for. And not until this moment had I realized where that came from.
That's
Because I
beautiful.
wasn't I wasn't live stream. Live streaming wasn't even a thing back then.
No, it wasn't a thing.
Literally, it
Mm-mm.
didn't even exist. If you did a
Mm.
video, it had to be on there, and then it had to be under 5 minutes. And Facebook and YouTube had all these restrictions. This is when it first came out, y'all.
Yep.
We're talking about 2008. Um, so yeah, I never realized that it was just it just intuitively came out of my mouth. But I was
Yeah.
always that kindergarten counselor. I was always the one everyone turned to with their problems, and
Oh yeah.
I had everybody's secrets and just held on to them. I was that guy. I'm still that guy. Very sympathetic, especially towards women. I know you guys care and love harder than men, so letdowns and things like that hurt you even more. Um, and I know you for yourself and your body and all the mental anguish. I know it's worse for women than it is for guys. So I really feel for you guys as far as the mental game and battling the ego when it tells you you're not good enough or you lose a couple more pounds or whatever it's saying at that moment. I really hats off to you guys, man. Because
Well,
I've seen some women stress about some things that did not need to be stressed over, and they could not
yeah,
get
you're
off it.
right. Well, I love that you're asking or you're talking about that. First, I want to talk about the fact that you had the sacred yes. I call it the sacred yes moment with God. That
Nice.
it's a sacred yes. I got asked, I got told, you're going to do this thing. Are you going to show up? Are you going to do it? And just no questions asked. Are you going to do it? Now worry about the how. Get ready for the wow. The what's not. The what's Ville's coming. The who's Ville's coming. Don't worry about that. Just do. So that's what you did. As far as women, I love that you brought this up. I had a guest on yesterday. It was Corey Hilton, and he was a male stripper in his life, and now he's
I
stepped
remember
into
Corey.
25 dude, 25 years. Well, it was crazy awesome. Well, we had him on, remember?
Yeah, he had him on
Yeah,
Friday.
yeah. Dude, so he was talking about that too. Like the women strippers, like they're all judged on their body and this and that. And men, they didn't have to be like the perfect specimen of what the women thought that men should be in a male strip club. It was totally different. So I love you brought that up. And what I'll tell you is that in my own experience, going from I've been in many different arenas in my life when it comes to my physical body or it comes to my mental health. And where I sit today is in acceptance. And all people accepting themselves as they are should be the goal. Period. Period. Men, women, and I love the empathy that and the understanding because women have because of media and all of these other things, there is this standard. But that's shifting and it's changing because we're starting to see that the essence of who we are is inside. I just watched Shallow Howell. Remember that movie? I just
Yeah.
watched that. Oh my god, seeing the beauty within. I mean, if anybody really wants to get a clue, Shallow Hal, which is a really old movie with Jack Black, actually shows like what we're doing here. We're not looking for the essence or the beauty within others because we don't see the essence or beauty within ourselves. So, Neo, you say the sacred yes, you step into this arena here. Tell me what drove you into doing your summits and whatnot, and talk to me about what's happening because you do things in the dental industry that are that they've never seen before, and you're doing things on your summit. You're bringing together people that need to be brought together so that the people who are listening can get a clue.
Real quick, I just wanted Shallow Hal. I know a lot of people. Was that your first time seeing it or no?
Mm-mm.
Okay, yeah. So I know people might have seen that movie. I said, yeah, that's cool, but that would never happen. You're not. No one's just gonna all of a sudden see someone as skinny when they're not. I want you to take that movie to the person who's saying that. Take that movie and use it metaphorically, and not for a female, but for a situation. You seeing a situation for something that it's not, and then use it for every situation. And that's exactly what it is. You can either appreciate it or you can find the bad in it and nitpick it and manifest more bad. That's
That
what I
was so
do.
good.
That's what I do. As soon as I saw that movie, I said, "Wow!" And I started looking at situations like Hal's girlfriend, and I was like, "What situations am I not viewing right for thoughts become things purposes?" Because remember, every thought you have is basically molding tomorrow and the next day. So basically, every thought you have, you ask yourself, "Am I screwing myself with this thought or not? Or does it serve me?" That's a better way. So yeah, take that with Shallow Hal. With the summits, oh man, as soon as I learned the law of attraction, I wanted to know more. And from all the books and stuff were great, but I wanted to know more from actual people. Where I was at in New Jersey, no one, and I say no one, I repeat, no one was talking about, knew about, or was even into the law of attraction. I was on my own. And so I had to reach out, find people online. That's when I really started to get online. And I said, you know what? I'm going to interview one person at a time and get every single trick they have for myself.
That's what you do.
Meanwhile, the audience gets to learn too if they want to. But I'm studying this thing like it's a real test.
Yeah.
Um, it's the finals are coming type deal. And so I did that. I studied people, and while doing interviews on TV shows, radio shows, and for 13 years I did that. And then last January I said, you know what? Instead of interviewing one person at a time, because every time I interview one person, I call it a beautiful tennis match. We're like bouncing ideas off each other, and then all of a sudden it's kind of like we both shoot out an idea and they hit and then merge and birth a third idea that none of us had even thought of. And now we're both hanging up the call like, I can't wait to try this and see what it's going to get me, or see how it's going to make me feel. And so that would always happen between a conversation between two people. So I said, if I get a whole room full of people just chatting it up, all kind of ideas are going to be flying, sparks are going to be flying. And I said, I got to throw a summit. And that was it. I threw the summit. It was freaking amazing. You were there. And
Yep.
I've been rocking ever since. I think this will be number 11. because we took 2 months off, 2 or 3 months off in last year. So this February 19th from noon to 4 p.m. You guys see the link, neosloasummit.com. It's just a campfire type
Yeah.
atmosphere, a group of people talking across the campfire. Every half an hour, we stop and pass one person the mic to answer two questions. How do you use the law of attraction? Like, I do affirmations every day. And what has it done for you? I got a promotion, I lost weight, whatever the situation is. And then we go back to the campfire. We bring in questions from the audience. We have lightning rounds. We have panel discussions. This summit is going to be special. I've invited all of my guests back, but obviously they can only have 10 people in the StreamYard.
Hmm.
So they're going to pop up one at a time and speak their piece, say what they got to say, do a little bit of campfire, and then bounce. And the next person will come on, and we're saving the, because there's 7 of us, 2 spots will be for other speakers to come in, pop in. And that one last spot is going to be for an audience member. So if you want to come in as an audience member and ask a question to a specific person or to all of us, we'll bring you on, ask the question. And so it's just going to be a lot of swapping. It's going to be greatness this February 19th, this Saturday. So I hope to see everyone there. And Debbie, obviously, Debbie always steps in and just brightens up the room, kicks ass real quick, and then bounces. So we'd love to see you pop in as well.
I love that. Thank you. Kicks ass and then bounces. You crack me up. That's
She
great.
does. She comes in and brightens the entire thing and then leaves us. And then it's still bright when she leaves. So we were on this high vibration before, and it's just lit up after that even more. So thank you for doing that every time you come on.
That is like really sweet. Thank you. I appreciate the recognition and the acknowledgement. That rocks. You know, one of the things that that has came to me here is that um, when you have your summits, and the cool part about this, and if you all are just joining us, the link is right here in the chat to join the summit for free. Please, it's right there. Um, one of the things you mentioned is we go like around a campfire. What has changed since you started using the law of attraction? Da da da. But one of the things I know is that when I am internally shifted, when I'm appreciating things as simple as a blade of grass,
Mm-hmm.
that my external reality is bomb. Like everything's lining up because I'm I'm in energetic alignment with that I seek. With that I am. Forget seeking. With that I am. I'm not like a seeker going out there. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. No, 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 no. So did you notice that like when you got into it that it was like if you are in check, things line up around you. It's not as long as we're in that appreciation factor. Did you notice that? Like the more that you're in check yourself, that you get the cars and the house and the things and the stuff.
Once again, I think it was backwards. I need to research this. Everything about law of attraction seems to be it happened backwards for me, but it's in a good way though. Um, This is Power Now by Eckhart Tolle. I was reading
Mm.
that book. As soon as I got done with The Secret, I went online, saw a bunch of Oprah Winfrey, Steve Jobs, everybody, all these billionaires were accrediting all of their success to the law of attraction. I was like, this is it. Like, I need this.
Mhm.
Like, I don't want to know everything about it. Oprah Winfrey immediately put me onto Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now. And so meditation and the power of now were the first 2 things that I got into after I saw The Secret. At one point, so you can picture me meditating a little bit or trying, and then reading the book, The Power of Now. At one point in the book, I just put it down and I walked outside and I just looked up. And I've always been a meditative soul. I just didn't know what I was doing. I used to sit on the roof of my house as a kid and just stare off, and I didn't know what I was doing. I thought I was just chilling. Um, so I stepped outside in the middle of reading a book. I just put it down and stepped outside, and I looked up, and there was some trees there, and they were just brighter. They had more green
Mm.
color. The grass, the fence, all of the colors were more vibrant, and it was like I kind of could feel the object. Like if I put you in an empty 2-car garage and it's open, and then I turn the light off or bring you back in the garage 5 minutes later, and there's 2 conversion vans in there, the whole room just feels different. There's objects there, And it's that feeling that I'm saying I could feel on the objects around me. And what that led me to immediately was this feeling of gratitude. Everything was beautiful, and I was thankful for these leaves. Why am I thankful for these leaves on this tree? I didn't even know what was happening. And it was through meditation, more meditating, that I was able to go outside more often. And then it was beauty. It was appreciation. It was beauty. And then that's what made me realize whenever I stop and get present, I don't even have to be outside. A couple seconds later, I end up very thankful for either what I'm focused on in front of me or just life in general. Last night in my trailer, it's beautiful, and I love it because you can lay back and you can meditate. And then once you hit that excitement or a thought pops into your head, or you just meditating so good and you just appreciate, I jump up and I'm like, yeah, I'm killing it right now. I'm killing it in the game, I'm following my dream. I'm living, I'm retired. Like, this is crazy. I get to fly whenever I want. Like, and so I go from meditating to that. And then I get hype and I'm having this opposite of a pity party. I'm having this great time just feeling life.
Opposite of a pity party. You guys got that?
I'm the opposite. I'm enjoying life. All the great things about my life are being celebrated in this party going on in my mind in my trailer at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm literally watering the seed of excellence, of flight, of the things I most enjoy to do in a trailer at 1 in the morning. Now that's using your imagination to your advantage. That's watering some amazing seeds. And then I'll calm down and I'll go back and get meditative again. That's what I love about my garage. I call it garage time because I always did it in my garage before I had a trailer. Um, that's what I love about my garage time. It's open, it's free, it's me. I can do what I want. No one can hear what I'm saying. I can scream, I can talk shit, I can say whatever I want. And those are the type of zones that you got to get into. If you try to do a recording and your family's on the other side of the door, you kind of ease back. You don't know what they might question. You might say something stupid, something crazy that you're not even going to pay attention to. So you have all these filters on if someone can hear you or if you think they can hear you. But get into a space where no one can hear you and just say what you want out loud. It's going to sound silly if you're not used to talking to yourself. I suggest you get used to it. Because it's a beautiful thing. We're doing it all day up here anyway. I wouldn't walk down the street. Well, you could walk down the street doing it because people think you had an earpiece on. But yes, it's a beautiful thing. And I love how I can just switch it up and go from amped up to meditative to just sit back and think and go deeper. If I think this and my ego takes me there, what if I did this? Oh, God, let me try this. And so it's a beautiful headspace. Get there, you guys, daily. If you're going to spend an hour in the gym today working on your body, you need to spend at least an hour and 1 minute working on your mind. Trust me.
I'm freaking love this. There's so much yumminess in here. First off, I love that because I can do that in my car. I can do it in my car if necessary, because you can talk to yourself in your car now and you don't look crazy anymore,
Yeah.
because like that's how it is. You all can do that. So there's always a way and a place and somewhere to find that space that's your space. And I love that you said that, and allow yourself to be free in that space. That's what Neo's talking about here. And join the summit that's coming up. The link is in the chat. I'll put it in there again. So Joe Sliker, my husband, says, "That's awesome, Neo. I definitely need to work on staying present more often and the magic it brings. I find myself drifting off and thinking about the future too much. Thanks for the reminder."
Joe, send me your address. I got a bunch of wristbands and poker chips. I love my poker chips. Every time I reach in my pocket, I pull out a poker chips. It says, remember, thoughts become things. Stay focused. Every time I reach my pocket, I feel it. And on the back, it's funny. It just says a picture of me. It says neopositivity.com, but it says thank you at the top. I know it's blurry. You guys can't see it, but it says thank you at the top. And that's not a thank you for purchasing this. That's
Uh-huh.
not me. That's not me
That's
thanking.
like the coolest. I love this thing. This is just the
This
raddest.
this thank you is so when you reach in your pocket and you say, "Oh, snap, that's there. Let me do an affirmation." Just say thank you 10 times. Or just say yes 10 times. So that's why I wrote that thank you on there. So many times I go to do an affirmation, I'm like, all right, affirmation time. What's my next big goal? So I can center my affirmation around that. Well, I want to do this, but I also want to do this in a dental field. But I do want to get that next airplane. And I end up not even doing the mental exercise. So when you're just quick and you need to get in and out, just say thank you 10 times.
Keep going. Talk about that wristband. I'll be right back.
That's what it is. The wristband, same thing. Thoughts become things. Stay focused. If you're driving, especially if you're in Florida, they be cutting you off like crazy. You're driving, you're about to curse somebody out, just look down. Remember, thoughts become things. Stay focused. It's on the shirt, it's on the wristband, it's on the poker chips. Get you one. Get you one. They're on the website, neopositivity.com. I'll post the link up in the chats right now. And Joe,
All right.
I got one coming your way.
Oh, that
Of
rocks.
course, of course, I'm gonna send a couple so you and Debbie can hand them out to all your cool friends.
Okay, that would be kind of rad. I think that, those are the cutest little things I've ever seen, ever. I love that. That's extremely inventive. I'm digging that.
I did the pebble, but I'm not gonna say I kept losing it. I don't lose stuff. However, I did lose two of them. Uh, and I said if I get something valuable, I'll make sure I won't lose it. And so I did the little silver dollar, but it's just a dollar. That ended up in the rent cycle in the washer machine. And when I got that out, I was like, all right, I need something really valuable. And of course, I was in Jersey. I used to always go to Atlantic City, but I never, I don't gamble. I would just go down there to the beach and do videos. And so I got a chip. I got a couple of them from all the different casinos, a chip, $25 chip, $50 chip, because I know I'm not going to lose a $50 chip. And so that's
Mm-hmm.
where I was like, you know what? If I'm going to have this chip in my pocket reminding me to stay on top of my mental exercises, I might as well write something on it, you know, so I got my affirmation ready. Last, worst come to worst, just say thank you 10 times. And so, yeah, that's how that idea came out. But use whatever you have to. That's the thing. Get a pebble, put it in your pocket every time you reach in there. What's that? Oh, that's why that's there. Thank you. 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 And you just end up in that good mode. And that was the point in you doing it. The point you're doing is not to manifest money. It's not to manifest that next gift. Those will come. Okay, if you have blind faith and just hope that they'll come, because if you want them, that's a feeling of lack. You'll manifest more feeling of lack, which means they can't come. You're blocking yourself. The reason in saying thank you 10 times is to change your morale at that moment. Change up the morale of everything around you, because people are going to see your energy shift, especially if you're at work in the office place. You go into the bathroom or go on your lunch break, and on your way back, you just say thank you or yes 10 times. You walk into that building and light stuff up. That's how you get promoted, you know? That's how you get promoted. At the end of
That
the
is how
day,
you get promoted.
people see that, they respect that. The supervisors see that they respect that. The supervisor says, "Yo, I want that type of energy blanketing this office. Let's make them Let's make them a supervisor as well." That's how it happens.
Quit playing small, people. Quit trying to, I think so many people spend their lives quiet, trying not to be seen. And you're not sane. Real simple. You don't want to be seen. You're not sane. But if you really want to be seen, do exactly what Neo just said. Say thank you, thank you. Spark that G vibe, that gratitude vibe that's inside of you, and it oozes off of you. There isn't, but the beauty in it though is that every person that you meet, Neo, they can remember who they are in that moment and that interaction with you. And that's the fact. You help people
It's
remember who they are.
as soon as they see you, because from the outside looking in, I used to do this. When I see someone, I still do it. Now I think about if I see someone that's just brightening up the friggin' room like Debbie G, the first thing I think is, I want to brighten a room like that too. And
There you go.
it's not like a jealousy. I
Mm-mm.
want what she has. It's more of a, I want to shine bright. I want to shine my light a little bit brighter at this moment. Just like a switch on the right. You're like, let me turn mine up because it's something we can do. You
Yep.
don't see someone else have, being like that, and you're like, I'm jealous of them. No, you have the ability to do it too. Just turn that frown upside down and change your morale. It's easy. You can get it done. I suggest you do it more often than not. Your kids will respect you more. Your friends will respect you more. Your boss will respect you more. That respect comes with love. That love comes with happiness.
That's right.
Go get that happiness.
Go get it, people. Like for real. That's it right there in a nutshell. I mean, it's called empowering one another to remember our greatness versus putting each other down. You know, jealousy, the opposite, and comparison, never seen it get anywhere. That's why I stay in compersion, celebration of others. If you see somebody, Neo celebrates me. He puts "We love WG" with a hashtag, which is his. He celebrates, and every time I see that, I'm like, "Oh my God, I love you," because he's celebrating me. He's not
Gotta throw it in there.
I love that. He's not stepping into a space of comparison, but rather compersion and celebrating me as he celebrates others with his summit. So one last shot at the summit. You guys can join. The link is in the chat. Please do. It's this Saturday. It's going to be absolutely spectacular. Um, remember, who are you grateful for? Type it in the chat. And if you have any questions for Neo, type it in the chat. He'll get back to you, and we will see you on Friday with Walt.
Yes. See you on Friday. Thanks, Debbie, for having me. Thank everybody for listening and chiming in. I love you guys. I really do. Thank you.
Have a cup of grata. Bye, everybody.